great times, to be a parent. And, the school year is getting ready to wind down. A lot of people planning on vacations, something that we've mentioned many times here on the show. So many people spend more time planning vacations than they do actually planning their retirement, which should be considerably longer and full of maybe perhaps a little other vacations within that. So something to think about as you're listening to this week's show, and want to go ahead and start with this because we've done plenty of stories about how much we need to retire. Studies started at $1 million. The latest number, according to Schwab, is $1.8 million. But when we talk about it here, the answer always comes back, it's going to be different for everyone. But get this, there was a new article in the Motley Fool that said when they asked people how much they thought they need, they said $1.8 million. So those kind of lining up there. But I have to wonder, are people who meet with you guys affected by these stories? And do they think that they actually need a lot more to retire than they probably do?
Well, when you hear $1.8 million, it probably seems intimidating. And
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it, what will the average worker need in retirement time? It is like what you said. It's kind of different for everybody. It really comes down to your own individual situation. I don't know. I've done hundreds of retirement plans for folks over the years, and 1.8 million in Northwest Ohio seems a little bit high. Nothing to say that that's wrong with that number, but when you look at it, I think what the average worker needs to look at is how much do they need in reliable income sources. So when you look at that, you look at like Social Security, you can look at pensions, you can look at other sources of reliable income, and that's kind of going to be what your base number is. One of the things that's kind of neat is at our office, we've created this independent income system calculator, and it can do the reverse math on it. So when you're looking at your situation, we can help you determine what is that number, because everybody does want to know what their number is. When you meet with clients, Dave, what are you telling people as far as, what do you need in retirement time?
I try to stay away from discussing numbers like 1 million, 1.8 million. But what I try to do is give them a judgment-free snapshot of what kind of income they can count on or hope for in retirement without overreaching on the risk side of things. So it's more of a situation where we're trying to give them a number and then see how they react to that number to see if we've got some common ground moving forward on developing a plan.
Well, I think what you talk about, common ground is important. So, when people come into our office, they have to have somewhat of a realistic expectation as far as what their thought process is. I know over the years I've met with people that, haven't saved a whole lot, and their expectations of what retirement look like, are not realistic. And, one of the ways that we can figure that out for you is developing what is called the Retirement Team Action Plan. So within the Retirement Team Action Plan, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these numbers, and we're going to help map them out together to help you understand what does retirement look like? Like, what should be an expectation of your income in retirement? And then in addition to that, we'll talk to you about how to kind of position those assets, because as you talked about, some people may take too much risk hoping that things work out. And, with the market, things don't always work out. So it's important to have kind of a plan, and that plan can help you figure it out. So the Retirement Team Action Plan can help you kind of walk through that math.
And to find out more about the Retirement Team Action Plan, it's really easy. You just reach out to the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, 419-794-3030. You can also go to the website, arhq.com. You may have heard us talking about $1 million, $1.8 million, and blocked and said, I'm never going to be able to save that much money, and I'm not going to, ever be able to retire. My challenge to you is to actually reach out to the team, sit down with them, discuss the independent income system, figure out how it all works together. You may find out that you shouldn't necessarily focus on the total number, but actually what your monthly income is going to look like, what your monthly income requirements are going to look like. And it may end up being more manageable than you thought, and certainly more reasonable. And that number may be drastically lower. So the number to keep in mind right now, 419-794-3030, or go to the website, and that's arhq.com.